What's up, everybody? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're constantly evaluating whether something or somebody is worth your time? Are they worth your time, worth your energy, worth your resources? Well, that is what Gate 32 is all about. It's all about going behind the scenes and figuring out where do I, you, me, we want to put our time, energy, and resources. It is the built-in evaluator inside of all of us that we use to figure out what's right for us and what is not right for us. And trying to figure out what is going to be lasting and what is going to stand the test of time for us. So today we're going to talk about Gate 32, which is all about being the evaluator. Gate 32 is here to guide us in recognizing what has potential for long term success and what is only here for a short time. Not everything in our life is here for the duration. Some things only have a season, some things are here for the duration. It's about preserving and creating what is going to last for us and enduring, or what's going to be enduring, and what's going to be worth us investing our time in, and what is really going to be worth us giving our energy. In astrology, this is the Libra. In tarot, this is the Six of Pentacles. And in the I Ching, this gate is preservation, it's enduring, and it is duration as well. And the energy about this gate is all about focusing on evaluating, creating, and really strategizing, visualizing for the long term. What can we build? What things can we do in our lives that are gonna sustain, that we want to keep for the long term? This is in the spleen center, and it is reaching down to the root center of your human design chart. All right, what is our essence and how can we know that this energy is activated? So, as I mentioned, this is all about evaluation. This gate is known as the evaluator, and this gate gives you a sense or the ability to sense which ventures, projects, relationships, people are actually going to endure over time and which ones are right for you. This energy is about strategizing, and it helps us create stability in our lives. It helps us preserve what's valuable for us and get rid of all the other stuff that isn't valuable to us right now. When we have this energy activated with Gate 32, it enhances our ability to make decisions for the long term and really figure out what leads to our long-term success or our long-term success, whether it's in our career, our personal lives, or in our communities. With this energy, we have a natural instinct for evaluating risk and the potential of many different projects or many different visions we may have. We can use this energy to see if these are going to be good for us, or maybe we would go down the wrong path and waste our time. And you may also feel more driven with this gate. I know a pressure to preserve what matters most, even though this is not a pressure center. You may feel as if you have the ability to determine if family members even or your community, what is going on is going to endure, it's going to last, and if it's something that you want to get involved with. And your instincts also guide you. This is in the solar plex, so this is all about our intuition, our instinct, fear as well, and using our instincts to guide us to make strategic decisions that are practical for us, but also align with our success for the future. Things we can reflect and meditate on this week. What areas of our lives are we evaluating for the long term? And are we investing in the right projects for us? And are there any fears that are holding us back from fully investing in our long term goals? I'm leaning heavily into this energy this week after what feels like months of going from different projects around successful, this channel, how I want to helped pick my community. I've actually gotten rid of a few projects or products that I was working on that were really taking up time, but they weren't really moving in the direction that I wanted them to go in. And so I kind of just said, hey, I don't have to hold on to these things. I could just let them go. So, my successful community, I let that go for now. I do see these things coming back, but right now it is not the time. And there was also some human design reports I was working on as well. Again, I see these things coming back, but right now in the moment, it's not what I'm focused on. What I am been focusing on is going back, looking at some of my old coaching materials, looking at testimonials and work I did with clients 3, 4 years ago, and I'm seeing a lot of similarities between the work I'm doing now and the coaching I was doing then. I'm using human design as kind of the main tool now, but looking back at my worksheets, looking back at the evaluations from past clients, I'm really doing the same work, helping people go from chaos to clarity, helping them understand how to use their energy best for them, and most importantly, how to use or how to make decisions that align with their best interests. And using human design, it really helps people understand that they don't have to make decisions the same way everybody else does. Everyone has their own unique way of making decisions, and that's what gives us confidence to move forward. So I am heavily leaning into this energy this week. And we also want to think about what fears are holding us back from really fully investing in something for the long term. Commitment can be scary, and committing to something for the long term, we usually don't do it without a lot of thought. So think about this week, what are you doing to invest in your long term goals? And are those goals that you actually wrote down or are thinking about, are you going to be able to keep them up for the long term? Something to think about when we're journaling this week is, try to describe a situation where maybe we're stuck on something that hasn't succeeded quite yet. How do we evaluate if it is still worth working on? Should we still keep the course, keep going forward, or do we need to take a step back, evaluate the risks versus the rewards of what we're working on, and maybe pivot? We can also journal on or reflect on what areas in our life need more preservation and more strategic long-term thinking versus get something done quickly to say it's done and really connect with our intuition. If we're still in the splitting center, all about intuition, and lean on that to really help us figure out where do we want to go, what strategic direction do we want to go in the long term. In shadow and enlightenment of this gate. So we know that we are in the shadow energy and the lower frequency when we have a fear of failure. Now, this video is not that long to go into all the things about fear of failure, but this gate is the gate of fear of failure. And, the whole Splenic channel is about fear, or splitting center is about our different fears. And so this fear can cause you to doubt your decision making, and you are constantly questioning whether this thing, project, people, relationships are going to work out, are they going to succeed, or are they going to fail? And this energy may also prevent you from fully committing to projects or people out of fear that your efforts are going to lead to disappointment. And we may find ourselves playing it too safe, afraid to take risks, and not really trusting our instincts. Once we get into the higher frequency of this energy, into the enlightenment for gate 32, we become powerful tools for creating success. And you learn how to trust your abilities. We learn how to trust our natural abilities to evaluate, strategize, and transform that failure to focus action. And we use that energy to push us forward, to propel us forward, and help us nurture our long term relationships, our long term projects, and ensuring that we are able to be successful at what we desire to be successful with by investing our time and resources into what truly matters. And we become masters of endurance and really start strategically building our legacy and building something that's going to last, that is true to us, and it's not really based on what other people say, think, or feel, but what we feel intuitively as ourselves is going to last and is going to go into the long term future for us. An affirmation for us to contemplate this week is: I trust my ability to evaluate and preserve what is meant to succeed and what is meant for me, and I release the fear and I step into my strategic power. All right, so in human design, look at the chart. This is gate 32 is in the splitting center, and the splitting center is all about instincts. It's all about survival, and it's about the awareness of what we need to survive. And so this is one of the basic human instincts of fear, the flight that we have goes back to the caveman. This is very instinctual in us, and it goes from the splitting center down to the root center, and it brings the energy of drive and determination. And Gate 32 plays a role in evaluating and strategizing for the long term, for our success, and then ensuring that we have resources to go for the long haul. There's nothing worse than going on a trip and figuring out that you don't have everything you need to make it. If you've ever ran out of gas on a trip, me, I've done that. That kind of sucks. So this is about making sure we have enough gas to go the distance for whatever we're working on, and the energy and the efforts are well preserved, and it is directed where we want to go. So as I mentioned, that's really what I'm doing this week, like focusing on this YouTube channel. This is the area where I've been most consistent. I have LinkedIn, Facebook, other channels for my craft or for creation, and this is where I've been most consistent. So I'm evaluating what's going to be next for the YouTube channel and how to improve it. Additionally, my wife as well. Check her channel out. Her name is Yunori Palso. She talks all about self trust. She's been diving deep into how to make her YouTube channel better. We got a little friendly competition going on for subscribers. She's a little ahead, but we're gonna catch up, guys. Don't worry, because you're gonna like and subscribe. But she was evaluating last night how to sustain and improve her channel for the long term, and so I'm also leaning into that energy as well. Gate 32 belongs to the tribal circuit, and so this is all about focusing on our collective survival and our long-term prosperity. And this energy is about preserving our resources, maintaining stability within our communities, and making sure whatever we're going to do is going to endure, not just for ourselves, but actually for the well-being of the tribe, for other generations, and for those that we are looking to help. And it's also about creating foundation. You can't build a 32-story building with a one-story foundation, right? We need a little bit more grounding. And so this is about creating foundations that's going to support everyone, it's going to support growth, and it's going to support success. This gate carries projected energy, and our strategy for this gate is projected. So what that means is that the wisdom of this gate, the evaluation of these skills, is going to work best for you when invited by others, or when you share this information. Don't just share it. Wait till you're asked. Wait till people want to find out more about what you're working on, what you're evaluating. And that way you'll find that people will be more receptive. So when people find you and seek you out for your input about these long term decisions or your investments and your natural ability to strategize, that's when this energy is really kicking. This is when it's at its highest frequency, and you can have an impact on other people, versus just telling and going around just evaluating things that people may not have asked you for. So when we recognize that our insights are what's going to help us succeed, our insights, our intuition is what's deeply valuable for us, we can then turn around and give it to the tribe, give it to our families, give it to our communities when it's asked for. So how do we activate this energy this week? One, we're going to trust our instincts. Gate 32, it really has a sharp sense of what's going to work and what is not going to work. So trust your feelings, trust your intuition about your long term plan, and don't be afraid to make tough decisions. I feel like, no, actually, last week this energy was here as well in one of our gates. It's in the sun this week, so this is why we're talking about it. But we're reviewing a client's chart last week, and they also have gate 32 in their chart, and it was already here. And so last week, I did make some tough decisions around where I was going to go with the different products that I was offering, and really slimming down the product offering and my focus, and also slimming down the resources I was using to move forward. I have, if you're like me, you have tons of courses, you have all these different resources, and I really had to decide what is the one plan that I want to use moving forward, because I just had too many ideas and options that I was looking at. So I really just cleared the table, put like two things on the table, and we are moving forward with those. So don't be afraid to make the tough decisions this week. That even may mean around your personal relationships. You may have to cut somebody off this week, but this is the week to really contemplate on, are these people, relationships, are the projects you're working on good for you in the long term? We also want to ground ourselves in the present. Because this gate connects to our roots, it goes down from the spleen to the root. It's important for us to stay grounded in the present and not let fear, drive us to avoid making decisions. Making those hard decisions is going to be very tough. I'm going to be honest about it, right? But we can't let that bog us down. We really have to focus on what helps us feel solid, what helps us feel whole, and what most importantly is going to be sustainable for us. And then also, we want to nurture ourselves during, this process. Our this energy thrives on endurance, and it thrives on helping us create strategies. And so don't rush it. Take your time. You have all week, and evaluate the nature of what you're going to be working on, and ensuring that it's going to be built to last for you. Some additional things we may want to do this week is practice some mindfulness and grounding exercises that we can use to reduce our fear, reduce our anxiety about the future, and making these decisions that, let's be honest, may hurt some feelings. It may hurt our feelings to make these decisions as well. And helping us, or the mindfulness will help us focusing on making a clear decision in the present while being grounded in ourselves. And also surround yourself with people who value your insights, who value your support, and actually see your long term vision for success. Me and my wife were working together on our different projects. We're not maybe working on the exact same project at the same time, but we have the same energy. We're pretty much moving in the same direction together. So it's very helpful for us to share with each other our long term vision for success. And revisit your goals regularly. Make sure that they align with actually what you want to do. And myself as well, I have some goals, but I typically like to have my goals outlined. I have a manifesto that I like to read that reminds me of my goals every day. Spoiler alert, I need to update it. Those goals in there no longer apply. I'm in a whole new environment. I've moved to a different country. And the things I wanted, let's say 2 years ago when I made it, are not the same that I want now. So I'm going back. I'm going to revisit those goals, and I'm going to make sure that they align with my instincts, my intuition, and my long term aspirations so that they are sustainable for the future. All right, guys. So, gate 32, also known as the gate of continuity, the gate of the evaluator, it empowers us to evaluate and preserve and strategize for the long term, for our long term success. And with its energy, you can transform fear into focus, determination. You can use it to make sure that you are investing in enduring relationships, projects, and you are helping the community in a way that's sustainable. that's lasting is going to lead to not only your but community prosperity. And by trusting your intuition, trusting your instinct, you can make strategic decisions that you can use to create a legacy that is going to stand the test of time, that's going to stand the ups and downs of this crazy floating rock that we are all living on. True success is built on perseverance, evaluation, and trust. Gate 32 gives you the tools to see what will endure, to preserve what matters, and to strategize for the future. That helps us build a solid foundation to move forward with. Embracing your ability to evaluate with clarity, your instincts will guide you to be successful.